What's up, you guys? It's J Bunny and welcome back to my channel. I am so freaking excited for today's video. Literally, it's gonna be so freaking lit. I cannot wait to get into it. Today's video is the start of a three-part mega series, clay to silicone to resin, 3-part series. So I'm gonna show you guys how to use air dry clay to make the silicone mold to turn into your fantasy resin projects. And so yeah, if you're interested in seeing that, make sure you turn on the notifications so that you don't miss when I drop parts 2 and 3. If this is your first time to the It's J Bunny channel, make sure you also smash that subscribe button so that you can become a part of the It's J Bunny fam. In today's video, we're only going to be focusing on the first step, which is how to use air dry clay to sculpt whatever your imagination desires. And I'm going to be showing you guys a bunch of sculpting techniques, and once you have a few of these basic techniques down, you guys are going to be a pro at sculpting. The theme of today's video is going to be a smoke weed sign. It's going to have a blunt on it, a marijuana leaf on it. I'm going to do some etched script writing along with some block letters. So I'm super hyped. I have the idea all planned out and I hope you guys love it. I purchased everything that I'm using in today's video on Amazon, so if you're interested in purchasing any of those products and doing the same craft at home, I've compiled a shopping list for you guys and dropped those links down below. Feel free to check out the description anytime throughout the video. Let's get into it. Let's get started on this craft. I have all of my supplies that I'm going to be needing at first here. I have a nice cardboard mat. I'm going to build the clay mold on top of here. I'm also going to be later on building walls around it so that we can pour the silicone mold directly on here. These are the pottery tools I got off of Amazon. Wow, it comes with so much stuff. Literally every single tool that you need to do pottery, wheel work, anything like that. I also have this silicone mold. I'm going to be using this as a little stencil, and here is the clay. I got it from Massive Monkey off of Amazon. Here's the clay. This is air dry clay. It says there's no sulfur in the questions on Amazon, so I think this is gonna work perfectly for all of my pottery needs, not only for the silicone mold making, but I also bought it so that I can do some other projects without the need of a kiln. This is a 5-pound block. I chose the white color. You can also get the terracotta color off of Amazon. This tool really helps to cut clay quickly, and so we're going to use that to cut off a piece from the bigger slab and start working with that piece. I'm going to close this clay back up because I don't want it to get dried out. So I'm going to start working the clay, rolling it out, spreading it into the size that I want, and focusing on the thickness and the shape. I'm going for a perfect rectangular shape. I'm going to go ahead and use this tool and start cutting off unnecessary clay while I finalize the shape. I like to use little extra scraps that I have to place here and there and even out the thickness of the slab, and then you can always smooth it out later. I have my bowl of water here. I just grabbed this so that my clay doesn't get too dry since it is air dry clay. And I'm just using the water to smooth out any bumps that are here on the top, and then I'm going to continue working the clay. Alright, now I'm going to take this tool and start cutting it into a square. So I'm taking the sponge that came in my pottery kit and I'm dipping it into my water dish to use the water and the sponge to smooth out the main bottom slab of my art piece. I want it to be nice and smooth and as perfect as possible before I move on to the next step of adding on the decorations. So because I don't want my first piece to get too dry, I took some Glad cling wrap, put over the first piece that I just finished, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put that to the side. And now I'm gonna be working on some letters. Here's my alphabet, and I'm just gonna use it as a impressions mold to place impressions on this slab that I made right here. And then I'm gonna cut out the letters that I need from there using my clay tools. I'm going to continually use the silicone mold to make impressions into my slab of clay for all of the letters of my piece, S, M, O, K, E, W, E, E, D, and I'm going to cut them all out using a little knife tool that came in my pottery tool kit. It's a good idea to continually clean your knife inside of the water dish as you work so that you don't get clay buildup that can ruin the shape of your letters. Take your time and cut out the letters as exactly as possible, as you want them all to look uniform, and that is the point of the stencil, to make the letters look uniform. So here I have all 9 of my letters done. Smoke weed slogan. These are the rough shape. Of course they need to be all smoothed out, so I'm going to use some water and the sponge from my dish to re-add moisture to the letters and then cover them up with saran wrap. I'm not going to worry about smoothing them out any further now until I place them onto the rest of the piece, as I know any smoothing out efforts I do now are simply going to be ruined when I transfer them onto the main base. I'm going to put them to the side and we're going to move on to the next step. So I'm rolling out another slab of equal thickness, the same as I've been using on the letters I already cut out, and this time I'm going to draw on a weed leaf using the tool that I got in my pottery kit that's like a little X-Acto knife, and then I'm going to pop that shape right out of the slab. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw a blunt. Same thing, cutting it out. And then this is going to be the smoke coming off of the blunt. Now I'm taking the saran wrap off that I had on the letters before, which was keeping them moist, and I'm going to start arranging the letters onto my sign. I put the O down first so that it's in the middle, and then I worked out from there. I wanted to show you guys this entire process so that you can see there's a lot of little adjusting to get your sculpture just right. I always want to get the most perfect placement that's going to be aesthetically pleasing at the end. I tried a few different placements, one with the weed leaf right here in the middle, but it just wasn't working for me, so I decided to move the letters up towards the top. I'm placing the weed leaf over here on the left. Now I'm adding in some etched designs right onto the blunt wrap, and then I'm also adding little swirl designs onto the smoke. And now underneath the block letters right in the center bottom, I'm writing in cursive every day. You know the song that goes like, "I smoke weed every day." So that's the reference that I'm doing here, is the Dr. Dre Snoop Dogg song. This final composition really goes together nicely, and I'm really happy with this final product. Let me show you guys how it turned out. Day 2, I let this rest overnight. I am so freaking happy with the result of my sculpture. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Sound off in the comments below if you're also loving the design and what your favorite part of the sculpt was. I really love how the joint turned out. I'm pretty freaking happy with the results. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys!